Hello everyone, and welcome to my reflection and ePortfolio presentation. Today I'll be discussing the Black Excellence and PHMD projects. I chose Kendrick Lamar as the subject for the Black Excellence project since I knew a lot about him as a fan. I specifically wanted to explore the topics of how Kendrick sees himself in the hip-hop industry. The design was kept simple so the message could reach the intended audience more easily. Ever since winning the infamous rap beef against Drake, Kendrick has seen a new wave of popularity on a global scale. Many people worldwide were all in on Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us. It won multiple Grammys, and it was one of the most streamed songs in 2024. And it was even performed at the Super Bowl. Lamar's recent diss tracks have often had people label him as a savior of hip-hop. Lamar himself has always been adamant about not wanting to be paraded on such a high pedestal. His fifth studio album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, reflects these thoughts. This PSA was intended to reach out to the mainstream audience who haven't heard of Lamar outside of his popular diss tracks. Lamar's messages are often heard through auditory text, so it had to be remediated to fit the visuals. It was decided that the best way to do so was to be as blunt as possible by having the text say, "I am not your savior." The other text in the PSA references his short monologue from the Super Bowl 2025 halftime show, which further proves Lamar's disapproval of being lauded as the savior of hip-hop. Let's now talk about the PHMD. In the summer of 2020, multiple sexual misconduct allegations were levied against over 100 individuals in the competitive Smash community. This was part of a larger issue in the gaming industry and community, as many allegations arose in response to the ongoing Me Too movement. A good majority of players were notable ones such as Cinnamon Senpai Dunson, D-Ron D1 Mangreet, Richard Keitaro King, Nairobi Nairo Quezada, and Gonzalo Zero Barrios. The Smash community had never truly recovered after the events of 2020. The fact that nearly 5 years later another act of misconduct had taken place is disappointing at the least and disappointing at its worst. On June 22, 2025, popular competitive Smash Bros. Player Joseph Mango Marquez was found sexually harassing social media influencers Maya Higa and Extra Emily while intoxicated at an event that was being live-streamed. A day after the stream, esports team Cloud9 released a statement saying that they would be dropping Mango from their contract alongside multiple bans from Twitch and esports events. The entire situation has been a disaster for the Super Smash Bros. Competitive community. Mango was seen as one of the core faces of competitive Smash, making his actions hurt even more. In light of recent events regarding the copious amounts of sexual misconduct allegations and offenses in the Super Smash Bros. Competitive community, controversy has occurred on how the community needs to be regulated. This research paper analyzes two videos that discuss the issues stated previously. The Score Esports video discusses about the misconduct scandal that took place in 2020, while Omni's video is about the recent situation regarding Mango. Both individuals use multiple rhetorical appeals to make similar arguments on how the community needs to be regulated. Omni specifically uses Kairos, Pathos, and Ethos in his video to claim that many notable people in the community need to stop holding others to such a high standard, to the point where they'll feel untouchable. On the other hand, the Score Esports uses Kairos to support his claim that committees need to be put in place to service general guidelines for the community. Overall, the PHMD was indeed an overwhelming task. The heavy subject matter and my prior history with the competitive scene were the reasons why such a task was tackled in the first place. I have covered the misconduct allegations before from my high school senior capstone paper and had witnessed the incidents take place in real time, so it was very easy to recall most events from that period. Compared to the PHMD, the Black Excellence Project had little to no research placed within its creation, as most of it was taken from prior knowledge of the subject. This research process has allowed me to close out this chapter of my life involving the Smash community in hopes of moving on from the pain that was felt so long ago. Thank you so much for watching.